Okay, hi all, good morning. So here I'm showing you how you can uh, log into the Oracle Lifecycle. Just go in Chrome and you have to type Oracle Lifecycle. And this is an online editor. Okay, you don't have to do any installation for this. I have mentioned yesterday as well. So many of you have concerned that maybe I don't have personal laptop, so how I can practice. I'm working on official laptop. So even if you have official laptop, so it will work because this is an online editor. Just go to Google Chrome or any other platform, type Oracle Lifecycle, the one which I'm highlighting here. It will ask you to create an account. It will ask your name, address, company name, and all those things. If you want to keep all those things confidential, you can keep the things dummy values there. That's not an issue. But your Gmail ID should be the valid one because they will send a confirmation link on that. And then you have to create it. So that's all. Very simple. Okay. So once you're done with that, you have to pass your username, that is your Gmail ID, and the password, and then just click on this sign in button, and then now you're ready to start coding. Okay, hope it is clear. Fine.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. So this is the platform, very simple. This is from the Oracle vendor. I have mentioned yesterday as well. Many of you have this confusion that the way you'll be teaching on which platform: Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, MySQL, Postgres. So I repeat, I repeat, don't get deviated, don't get confused with that. They all are just different vendors. Okay. Like for car, you have different company, Tata, Honda, Hyundai, Audi, and all those things. Similarly, for the SQL, they are different vendors. Okay. So SQL syntax, what I'll be teaching in this course is same across everything. Okay. Avni, you are telling something. Yeah, I mentioned hi Tanvir. Avni Hiremat.
Yeah, hi Tanvi, this is Praveen here. This is my daughter's name actually. My friend has made a payment and he's waiting for you to join at the
Okay.
club.
1 minute.
Can you please quickly check? His name is
One,
Sridhar, yeah?
okay, 1 minute.
Yeah.
But I will recommend you guys that you, if you have any question, don't message directly. Ask. Okay.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
1 minute. It was not message me. Can you share that link? I have shared that link with you. You share that link with him.
Okay, okay. I'll share it with you.
Okay. Sure, no problem.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay, so fine, water and for any admin or operations, this kind of activity, you should connect with Firdaus down the line. You all have the number of Firdaus, so you can connect with her. If it is not working, then let me know. I will pitch in. Okay. So fine. What I was telling, I forgot. Okay. So I was telling about this login process. The simple is Oracle Lifecycle. I will recommend those who are fresher, non-technical background. Don't get disturbed. Don't get deviated. That okay, I should work on Microsoft SQL Server or MySQL or which platform. So you can. I will suggest you guys to work on this Oracle Lifecycle. Okay. If your question is that no, in my project, I'm working on Microsoft SQL Server, this platform, I want to do the installation for this. So for this installation, you cannot install this in your official laptop. Okay, because you all know the official laptop, they will block many things. They will not allow you to do the installation, right? Because of security issues and all those things. So if you have personal laptop, you can install it. Now, how to do the installation in personal laptop? It is very simple. Just go on Google and type download Microsoft SQL Server, a free version of Microsoft SQL Server. You can download it from there. It's very simple. But I have the link. I will share the link with you after class. Similarly, for MySQL, we have uploaded a video on YouTube. We will share the link with you that how you can download the MySQL as well. Okay. So any question from this perspective, any doubt, any clarification so far? Hope it is clear.
Yeah, clear.
Okay,
Hi, good
fine.
morning, Sanjay.
Yeah, hi, good morning. Yeah.
I'm telling actually, means nowadays company are using which one? SQL worksheet or
Uh, you see, company nowadays,
with
now companies they're using different vendors. So I
Okay,
cannot comment that which one is better, because companies, they have many parameters on which they work and they select a particular vendor. Okay,
okay,
many parameters are there. Like if you are
okay,
going for cost effective, they will go for Postgres, that is open source. They don't have to spend anything, right? So similarly, they will decide any one vendor. So I cannot comment on that which one is better. Okay.
so,
So,
so
but
there will not a problem, right? Means
no
if
problem,
you
no
know,
problem. I told yesterday as well, there will be no problem. There is hardly 1% difference in syntax. You see, syntax is different, okay, but the underlying concept is same. Maybe I will give you one example, like see, substr. This is a keyword substring in Oracle. But if you will try in that SQL Server, it is known as like this substring. But the functionality was it is same. Okay, like on Oracle you have minus. Okay, on SQL Server you have except. Just the name is different, functionality is same. So like this, 3-4 keywords are there. I will tell you about that. Okay, like delete, it doesn't work in CT, but it works in SQL Server. So this little bit of small differences are there, which I will explain you. But again, I'm repeating, don't keep that in mind that, oh, this is different in SQL Server, this is different there. No. If you understand the SQL, the logic, the concept is same across all the platform. Hope it is clear.
yes, yes, thank you.
Okay, now coming to the next part. Okay, now coming to the recording aspect. Many of you have asked the question about recording yesterday, that how it will be recorded, how we will share the recording. So I repeat, all the recordings after class, if you're recording your hands-on notes, your assignments. Okay, we used to share. Satya, can you please go on mute?
Yes. Another
So
question, is it possible to share means whatever syllabus our means which day
I will
whatever?
share. Yeah, I will share that with you.
Okay.
Which day I cannot share that. I cannot tell you that tomorrow next class what I'll be discussing. Okay. Why? The reason is, let me show you the syllabus. This is the syllabus. This is the agenda. I will share this with you. But because what happened, suppose sometime I'm discussing create and insert. Okay. Suddenly some question came from order by, and I thought that okay, let's complete cover order by now. So maybe I will start covering order by. Okay. So that's why I cannot tell you that tomorrow which topic I'll be discussing, but overall it goes in this fashion only. What you can see here, no, the sequence. Okay, at a high level, it goes in this fashion only.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
Please share
okay.
it. Huh?
I will share this. I will share
Okay,
this with you guys. No issues. Okay.
okay.
Okay, so you can go on mute now. Okay, fine. Thank you. So now coming to the recording part. So recording we used to share on YouTube. Okay, so for that, very important point, and recording after each and every class. Yours is a weekend class, Saturday and Sunday. Timing is 8 to 10. That is fixed. We cannot change it. So for that, what you have to do, after each and every class, we will share the recording, assignments, and the classroom notes with you guys. Okay, Firdaus, she is the admin. She will share everything with you. Class will be over by 10. So maximum by within 2 hours, like by 12 IST, I'm talking within 2 hours. We try our best to share with you, but sometimes it happens, technical issues are there, or we are occupied in some other task. So maybe it can be delayed by 1 or 2 hours, but we try our level best to share all these documents with you within 2 hours. So after each and every class on Saturday and Sunday, you will be getting the recordings, irrespective of the matter that you have attended the class or not. We share the recording with everyone, classroom notes with everyone, assignment with everyone. Okay. Now for recording, what you have to do is, today we will ask you, you have to share your Gmail ID. Okay. But do take care, your Gmail ID must be the one through which you have registered on YouTube. Okay, because we will be uploading these recordings on YouTube. Earlier, we used to upload on Google Drive, because many of you might be having the question that, Tanvir, why not on Google Drive? We used to upload on Google Drive earlier. That was very simple and easy for us. But there were some quality concerns. We used to conduct meeting on Google Meet, but the video quality was not that much good. And even Google Meet is very cheap as compared to Zoom. So because of those video quality issues, we moved to YouTube. Why I'm telling all these things? I know down the line, this whole discussion will start happening in the group. Few of you will suggest that, Tanvir, why you don't upload on Google Drive and all those things. So that is why before that I'm answering all these questions. So we don't upload on Google Drive because of those quality issues. So we will be uploading on YouTube. Okay. For that, please share your Gmail ID, not now, after class. When Firdaus will ask, then you can share those your Gmail ID. Do take care, your Gmail ID must be the same through which you have registered on YouTube. If you're sharing different Gmail ID, then you will tell us that Tanveer, the video is not accessible. Okay, so do take care of that. That is very important. Okay. So this is all about recording, and recording will be shared to everyone. And one humble request, please don't share our assignment, our notes with anyone, even if he or she is from the same group. Hope it is clear. Okay. Third point, and the very important point, please don't share your confidential document, your personal document, your resume, your SSN number, your any other Aadhaar number, voter ID number, any number with anyone in this group. If anything goes wrong, we will not be held accountable for that. I am clearly shorting it out because we have seen the consequences in the previous batches. If anyone wants assignments, don't connect with any member or any participant of this group. Directly connect with us, either Firdaus or me. Okay. Earlier, what happened? One of the student, he was a fresher. Okay, he got a job in a particular company, but then he got a job from some other company with a better package. Okay, and he was planning to abscond. He was planning to abscond that. Okay, he started discussing all these things in the group that I have got a job from another company, ABC. He is giving me a better package, but I have joined this company recently, one month. I want to abscond this company because notice period is 3 months and all this blah blah blah. And you know what happened? Any guesses? Anyone, any guess? You know what happened?
Might be it is reached
No.
to HR of the company. It's like, okay.
How?
Someone is
There might be people from the same company. It can happen actually.
Correct. Same thing happened. His manager was also a part of the same meeting, same group. Okay. So you never know who is attending this meeting. We have people here who has more than 15 years of experience as well, sitting in the same group. Okay. So this happened, and now you can understand what was the negative consequence he has faced. So that is why clearly we shout it out that don't discuss all this stuff in this group. If you need some suggestion of any kind, you can connect with me. If I'm occupied, ping me that it is something urgent. I will call you back. But don't discuss these things in the group. I'm shouting out clearly. We have seen the consequences earlier. Many times your recruiter, because nowadays everyone wants SQL. Recruiters are also a part of this group. Many times we have a connection with the recruitment team. Okay, so they are intentional. They will come to this group. Okay, the multiple reasons are there. I don't want to disclose all those things. So the overall story is don't disclose your personal document, your personal talk, and anything in this group. Okay, and if anything goes wrong, you will be held accountable. We will not be responsible for that. Okay, guys, hope it is clear. Now over to you. Any question from this admin and operations part, from assignment, the recordings? Do you have any questions?
No.
No, fine. And feel free to ask question, make the session interactive. Okay, so now I will start with the session now. Let me. Okay, so if you remember yesterday, we have discussed about 200 September batch. Sure. So yesterday we have discussed why SQL. Okay, and we all know why SQL, right? In IT industry, if you want a shortcut ticket to get into the IT industry, learn SQL. It is what I can tell you. Okay. So yesterday we have seen that how to create a table. Okay, because table is equivalent to our house. If you want to stay somewhere, we have to stay in house. Suppose if I'm going from Delhi to Bangalore, okay, for a job, or if I want to stay there, so first task is to get a house, right? Similarly, in database, the first thing is to store data, right? So where you will store data? So we can store data in a table. So table is like a container where you can store data. This employee is the table name. I have mentioned yesterday that the table name, you can keep any name. You have all the freedom. There is no restriction. The only restriction is the table name should not be your reserved keyword. Okay. So this is the 1 minute. So this is the syntax I have shown you yesterday, that how to create a table. I'm removing this date of birth. Explain this on. Okay. So this is the syntax to how to create a table in a database. I'm repeating, this is not the only syntax. I'm showing you the very simple one, that how you can create a table in a database. Because table creation includes many other aspects as well, like adding primary key. Now you'll be thinking, what is primary key? We'll discuss about that. Adding composite primary key, adding constraints, adding integrity constraints. So all these things I am not covering now. Down the line, I will cover all these things. So the code which you're looking at on my screen, the first line, the one which is highlighted, it is a very simple code to create a table. Okay, I'm running it. Although I have discussed all these things yesterday, but I'm just quickly I'm revising it. Okay, so you can see the output table is created. Okay, table is created. So any question from the syntax part, line number 1? Any question, anyone?
Just Tanvir, can you let me know about 50? What is the importance of 50?
50 important, I told you that I will tell you after some time. For the timing, just assume whenever you want to store alphabets like ABCD, you have to keep varchar 50. I mentioned yesterday as well that down the line, maybe after 2 to 3 classes, I will explain you that why I have kept 50. If I will keep 1, what will happen on all this stuff we will discuss down the line. Okay, please ignore this for the timing. Any other question from this table creation part?
So we do have any limitation for the number of columns you create in the table?
No, there are no limitation on the number of columns. We have discussed this yesterday as well. In this table, we have only 4 columns, right? ID, name, department, and salary. Here we have only 4 columns. But yes, if the question you are getting in interview, that is the limitation on the number of columns. So no, there is no limitation on the number of columns. So you can create a table with a number of columns, 50 columns, 100 columns, your wish. There is no limitation at all. I have worked in a table in my previous project. We have more than 100 columns in that. But if the question is that what is the best practice? Should we keep more number of columns in one table? No, that is not suggested. Okay, because that creates redundant data and all this stuff. Okay, so down the line in our course, I'll be telling you what is the best practice, what is optimization technique, which keyword you should use from performance perspective, which keyword you should not use from performance perspective, and all those things. Okay. So here I have created a table with the name employee, and this have column ID, name, department, and salary. Okay, and we're getting the output that table is created. Now, if I want to cross verify that okay, whether the table is created or not, the structure of the table, for that you have this command DESC. DESC means describe. I'm telling SQL engine that SQL, please describe or please show me the structure of the employee table. Okay, so now see I am, and how to run this, just select this query and click on this run button. Now see it is showing me the structure of this table. In this table, what are columns we have? ID, name, department, salary, right? 4 columns were there, we have 4 columns there. Again, I repeat, although yesterday we have discussed this, your table name, your column name are not case sensitive. Don't get confused that, okay, Tanvir, here you have written ID in lowercase, but here it is visible in uppercase. No, because your column names, your table names are not case sensitive. That is totally your wish. If you want to keep this in uppercase, you can keep it in uppercase. If you want to keep it in lowercase, you can keep it in lowercase. That's not a problem. Okay. Any questions so far?
No, Tanvir.
Okay, good. Now, yesterday someone asked question. I forgot who asked. The question was, is it mandatory to see the structure of a table after creating table? No, it is not mandatory. It is up to your wish. If you want to see the structure, you write it DSC employee. If you don't want it, don't write it. It is not mandatory. Okay, that is only up to your wish. Then the next question was, Is it mandatory that I have to start writing my SQL query from line number 1? No, it is not mandatory. If you want to start writing from this line, you write from this line. That's not a problem. Okay. So, and then is it mandatory to keep some spaces between two keywords? Yes, it is mandatory. You have to keep it. If you will not keep any space, this will throw error message. I will show you all these things. Okay. Now, this is a very simple syntax how to create a table. Okay, hope you all understood this. Now, next is once you have created data, what next? Once you have constructed house, what next you will? Tell me.
Insert the value.
Insert the value, right? Once you have constructed your house, either you will live there or you will rent it, right? Similarly, once you have created a table, the next is insert the value or store data into, right? So that is what the next syntax is, how to insert data in a table. That is what you see, that how we can insert data. So you can see this syntax, insert into employee values. Let me show you the first one, this syntax. So this is the syntax to insert data in a table. So here I am telling SQL engine to insert data into employee table, and these all are the values. ID is 1, name is Raj, department is tech, salary is 100. Okay, so this is a syntax to insert data in a table. Let me run this now. One row inserted. If you want to verify the data is inserted or not, so for that we have this query. Select a star from employee. Whenever you want to see the data in a table, the data is present or not, so you have to write this query. Select means you are telling SQL engine you want some data. Okay, a star means you want all the columns. From is a reserved keyword, and then you have to write the table name from which table you want the data. Okay. So again, click on the run button. So now it is showing you that one Raj taken 100 is inserted into this table. Any question?
No, sir.
We use insert with column name also. So what is the difference between these two syntax?
Okay, good. I will come to that part. Can we
okay.
use column names or not? But to quickly answer your question, yes, you can keep column names as well. You might be asking that after employee, can I keep my the column names, ID, name like that, right? So you can do that as well. I will discuss that stuff after this. Okay. The question is, what is the benefit? The benefit is you can customize it. If you want to insert data in only 2 columns, so just write 2 columns and data will be inserted in 2 columns. I will discuss about that just after 10 to 15 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
So now the next is that, okay, Tanvir, you have inserted this Raj Tech 100. I want to insert one more record, the Abdul HR 150. So no issues. You write that script, select it, click on the run. So again, you're getting the output, one row inserted. If you want to verify the data, click on select a star from employee. Whenever you want to see the data, you have to run this query, select a star from employee. So now you have 2 records in this table. Is it clear? Fine.
Yes, it's
Okay. Now tell me one thing here. When I created this table, okay, ID, it is in lowercase, right? But here ID is coming in the uppercase. Why? Why is it so? Because SQL is not case sensitive with table name or the column name, right? I have explained that. No? It is not case sensitive with the table name or the column name. Similarly, you can see here this name, it is in lowercase, right? But here it is in uppercase. So you should ignore it. That doesn't make sense. Hope it is clear. Fine. But your data is case sensitive. Like here, Raj, Tech, these all are known as data. Abdul, HR, 150. These all are data. This is case sensitive. Case sensitive means if Raj is in uppercase here, it must be visible as an uppercase. Abdul, you see it is in lowercase, so it must be visible as in lowercase only. Data is your case sensitive. Any questions so far?
Tanvir, what if we need to keep the header values in small letters?
Header values is small letter. Here you cannot do that. But if you are talking about Python, Pandas framework, if you're working, so there you can use that lower keyword and you can change the header name. But here changing the header name in lowercase actually doesn't make any business use case. Okay, can you tell me why you want to change the header to lowercase? Do you have any use
No.
case for that?
No, I was just simply asking it.
No, that is fine. That is fine. I might be thinking that you might have some use case. So that's why here actually there is no use case of creating the headers in the lower, the column names in lowercase. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. But that is why we don't have that option here. Okay. But if your question is that no, Tanvir, here the Abdul what you're showing you, it is in lowercase. So in my project, the requirement is all the names should be displayed in uppercase only. It happens, it is a very common use case. So for that, I will teach you that upper and lower keyword. We have that, we can control it. Okay. Fine then, any other question, anyone? Okay, good. Now, these are the basic things you should know. And those who already knows all these things, I will request to have some patience level. Okay. So fine. Okay, next thing. What happened? Next day, my manager told me that Tanvir, okay, you have created the employee table and you have this ID, name, department, and salary column. But we want to create one more employee table. But in that table, just keep ID and location. Is the requirement clear? My manager is telling that Tanvir create one more employee table, keep ID and location on. So what should be the data type of location?
Varchar will be
Varchar
alphabets.
because we know in location we will add something like ABCD alphabets. So I told you yesterday, whenever you want to insert alphabets, you keep varchar 50. Again, I'm repeating, why varchar 50? Why I have to write 50 here? I want to write one Tanvir. What will happen? I know all these questions will be there. I will discuss all these things on them. Okay. So this is the syntax. Now I'm trying to create this table with the column ID and location. Oh, it is throwing error message. Name is already used. The reason for this error message is actually database, it doesn't allows you to create two tables with the same name. You see, already we have created a table with the name employee, right? So again, if you're trying to create a table with the same name, you can ask the question here that Tanvir, this name is same, but the columns are different. No, here I have ID and location, and here I was having ID, name, department, and salary. The columns are different. Then what is the problem? The problem is with the name. You are creating two tables with the same name. That is not allowed in database. Is that clear? Any question?
Yes.
Okay. So I told this to my manager that sir, we cannot create one more table because already there's one table in the table with the name employee. So engine is not allowing me to create one more table. So now the solution is either you write here employee one. Okay. So now this name is different. No, this is employee one and this is employee. So now if or you can write anything, employee one, employee two, or employee new, any name you can keep, but this should be different than the previous name. So now if I will run this, let me show you now. Now see, table is created. Again, if you are interested in looking at the structure of this, write DSC employee underscore new. This will show you the structure of this table. You can see the structure of this table. Okay. So what we understood, you cannot create two tables with the same name. Engine will not allow that. Hope it is clear. So I have created this table employee new and I have shown this to my manager. Now my manager is reluctant here. He is telling that no. I want to create table with the same name employee only. Okay. I told him that, sir, this is not possible because the engine doesn't allow to create two tables with the same name. But he is very reluctant. It happens sometime. Maybe if anyone is business analyst in this team, you might see that with business stakeholders, they will ask many times to do something functionally, which is not possible from technical aspect. And you will try to convince him, but he will not understand, right? In that case, what you have to do is, now listen very carefully. In that case, what you have to do is, you have to rename the previous table. Okay, this employee, the previous table, you have to rename it. Now, how to rename it? For that, we have alter keyword. I will not discuss about this now. Okay, but I'm just telling you, I'm just giving you an information that using this alter keyword, you can rename an existing table. So once that existing table is renamed, suppose I rename this employee to employee one. Okay, so now I can create a table with the name employee. Is that clear? Fine. Any questions so far?
No. Tanvir, I have a quick question. Okay, what if the table is already being used? Can we still do that?
Good question. Very good question. That Tanvir, okay, fine. You are telling that you have a table employee already, and many people in our team or many other teams they're using this table. And if you will change this name of this table, so what about other people, right? How you will communicate them? So that is correct. That will create a new problem because everyone doesn't know that you have changed the name of this table. Okay, so that's why you have to be very careful. And if the circumstances are like that, you have to change it. Then you all will be having that FRD document, right? In your project, functional requirement document or the mapping document will be there. Some of you will be using Confluence or some of you will be using managing it in Excel sheet. So there you have to update it that we have renamed this table from employee to employee one, and then you have to publish it. But that's an overhead. I do understand, but I'm just telling this is also one of the technique you can do it. Hope it is clear.
Yes,
Any
Tanvir.
question? Okay, fine. Good. So net, what we learned is SQL engine will not allow us to create two tables with the same name, because I know when you will be practicing all these things, you will be facing this problem. Okay. Now listen very carefully. Okay. Next thing, I'm trying to explain you next. Okay. Suppose what happened in my project, Tom. Let's take Tom. Okay. Let's take Tom. Now suppose there's a new employee, Tom, sells 200. Okay. He has joined our company. Many times it happens, no, that when you have joined a company, the initial formality, those HR, and then the task of HR, no, like employee ID creation and all those things. Sometimes it takes time, right? So suppose there's a new employee, Tom, who has joined the sales department. The salary is 200. Okay, and maybe currently employee ID has not been assigned to him. Suppose, okay. So my manager told me that then we please enter the details of this employee. Tom sells 200. Tom sells 200. Okay, he asked me to enter the detail of this employee. Tom sells 200. I told him that, sir, I want employee ID as well. Okay, he told that we don't have the employee ID as of now. Just enter this detail. Okay, so for this, suppose if I will write like this, insert into employee values Tom sells 200. Okay. Okay, before I execute this, I have a question. Tell me one thing. Here I have written this insert into employee values in uppercase. Here I've written this in lowercase. Does it make any sense?
No.
No.
No,
Is that a
Tanvir.
problem?
No.
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 That's not a problem. So I'm repeating this again and again because I know many of you might be having question here. So see, this all are reserved keyword. This insert is a reserved keyword. Into is a reserved keyword. Values is a reserved keyword. Employee is a user defined keyword. Okay, what are the reserved keywords? Let me repeat it. Reserved keywords are those keywords which SQL engine has some special meaning. Means the moment you will write it, the SQL engine will understand automatically that what I have to do. It's like a code word. Okay, they will understand it. Those words are known as reserved keyword. Like here I've written insert. Okay, this is a reserved keyword because the SQL engine will understand that what user wants. Okay, so all these words are known as reserved keyword because that has been reserved for SQL engine only. You should not use it for your own purpose. Okay, here employee, what is that? Do you think employee is a reserved keyword?
No.
No.
No, employee is not the reserved keyword. It is the user defined keyword because you have kept the name as employee. Okay, that is user defined keyword. So hope it is fine. What is reserved keyword and what is user defined keyword? Reserved keywords are those keywords which SQL engine has some special meaning. They will understand that what they have to do. Okay, and this reserved keywords and the user defined keywords are not case sensitive. You can write in lowercase, you can write in uppercase. That is totally your wish. Okay, any question so far?
If we don't keep
Tanvir,
the semicolon at the last, then will it work?
Okay, good question. Here, if you will not put semicolon at the last, even then it will work. You can try it, but you will notice that always I will put semicolon at the last. Why? The reason is many platforms, okay, many platforms, they want this semicolon to be placed at the last. So that is why I suggest my participants that make it a habit that always keep semicolon at the last. Okay, that's the only reason. Hope that is clear.
Okay.
Okay, I think someone was asking question. Yeah, next question, please.
yeah, Tanvir, Shweta here.
Yeah,
So basically, you said employee is the user-defined value, right?
user-defined keyword, not value.
Keyword. Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. See, I'm an entry-level
No issues,
learner.
no issues. No
Sorry
issues, no
about
issues.
that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
No issues.
So I just want to understand. So is there a relation between the employee number one or employee because you have just entered employee here. So and so you have put a alter keyword, right? So in the insert value, insert into syntax, should we need to enter employee or employee one there?
Insertion into employee one. Okay.
Because there on the table name you have entered employee one, right? So
Okay,
here
one
on
minute.
the
Which line number you are discussing? Line number 3.
yeah, see, I'm just trying to understand. See, there the table name was employee before when we created for the first time, right? And late.
1 minute. I got it. This only I have told for example. Actually, I have not changed this. Okay, this I just told for example that there is an option. You can write here one and the table name will be changed to employee one. But actually, I have not changed that. I just told you that you can change it by that way. But actually, I have not changed it. Okay. But yes, your question is correct. If I would have changed this to employee one, then now I have to write employee one. And if you want to insert a new record.
Yeah, that was my question. Yeah.
That you are correct. You are correct. Okay, but
Thank
I
you.
have not changed that. No problem. Let me remove this alter. This will create confusion. Okay, any other question?
I have a question.
Yeah, Daniel.
What if we have like 200 rows? Are we going to input them one after the other like this? Like where 200 employees?
No. You don't have to insert like this. I will answer that as well. Just give me some time. I will tell you a shortcut for that. Okay. So what we learned so far is that we cannot create 2 tables with the same name. That is not allowed. Okay. So now I am trying to insert this record in this employee table. Okay. I'm running it. Okay, it is throwing error message. Any guesses why it is throwing error message? Any idea?
In the table, we declared
You left
4
one column.
but here we declare only 3 columns.
Good. Thank you. So
Major
now
is
see,
not matching.
right. Let's see. Now listen very carefully. Try to understand it. In this employee table, how many columns you have?
4.
4 columns, right? ID is one column. Next, name is another column. Department is another column. Can you now go on mute, please, Prasad? Department is another column. Salary is another column, right? So in this employee table, we have how many columns? 4 columns. Okay. Now here I am passing how many values?
3.
Only 3 values. So that's why SQL engine is confused here. That in this employee table, a user has added 4 columns, but he is passing only 3 values, right? So there's a mismatch. So that is why it is throwing error message that no, not enough values. So what you understood? Whenever you are inserting data, the number of values what you are trying to insert must be same as the number of columns present in the table. Hope it is clear. Okay. So now I told this to my manager that, sir, I cannot insert this employee Tom who is from search department and the salary 200 because his ID is not present and that we need, right? But he is telling that no, I don't know all this technical thing. You have to insert it by whatever way you want. So now for that we have a solution. What we will do here is, so what is this Tom? Name, right? So now I will write here name. What is the sales department? I will write here department. Next 200 is the salary. So now I will write salary here. So now if you will see, now I'm running this query. Now one row is inserted. If you want to check the output, you run this query, select a star from employee. You got the output, Tom sells 200. I don't have ID, so it is keeping showing it as a null here. Okay, I will discuss what is null in the next class. We'll discuss that. Okay, but from this example, what I want to make you understand is in scenarios where you don't have values for all the columns and you want to insert value for a limited set of columns only, then what you have to do is you have to explicitly mention the column name here for which you want to enter the data. Right here, I don't have the ID value as of now, so I have not kept ID here. I have just kept name, department, and salary.
Sir,
Is that clear?
yes, sir. I have one question. So in this line, why we are not entering worker?
Which line you are telling?
Like after a name, we are using now worker 50.
Okay. So that you have to use only once when you are creating table. Okay, when you are creating table, no, at that time only you have to mention the varchar or integer you want. Once the table is created, no need to mention that again, because here we are trying to insert the value, right? We are trying to insert the value in line number 5. So here it is not required to mention varchar or integer. That is required only when creating the table. Hope I answered your question.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Tanvir, one question. Tanvir, as we can run it without the ID, but when you are trying to run it without the name, it was throwing the error, right?
I will show you that as well. I will show you that. Maybe you are doing some mistakes. Let me show you that for that as well. So hope it is clear to everyone. So here I am just explaining that you can customize the columns for which you want to insert the data. Okay. And this is what I think Amir was asking in the beginning. Right? Okay.
Now, one question. So you didn't keep the commas after the employee under, I mean to say the name, department, and the salary. So was there any specific reason? I mean to say, was that not required?
No, comma is there, no? Name,
No,
comma,
I
department,
mean to
comma,
say the
salary.
inverted comma, but what would I say? The
Oh, okay. For salary, you're telling it is not in inverted comma. That is what you're asking, no? This
yeah,
one. Ah,
yeah.
okay. You see, the data or the value which is number or integer, inverted comma is not mandatory. I will come to that. We'll discuss about all this stuff. Okay, that is not mandatory. But if you're trying to insert any alphabets, inverted comma is mandatory. I will show you this, Yogesh. Okay, just give me some time. I will come to that.
Okay.
So now, suppose I want to insert data into this employee, and suppose I have ID. Sorry, who asked that? Someone asked that I'm not giving name and it is throwing error message, right? Name you told, no? Lalit, I think Lalit asked.
Just my question was that when you were running without the ID, it was throwing the error, right? Without name, when you did not in the row number 5, when you did not mention the name, it was throwing the error. Is it? So
right.
when it can run without the ID, then why it cannot be run without the name? Name cannot be blank. This is like.
Sorry, it's not clear to me. 1 minute. Let me complete 1 minute. Hold on. Actually, what happened before this? I have executed 1 minute. This query, right? I was trying to execute this query. When I executed this query, this was throwing error message, right? Why it was throwing error message? Because in the employee table, how many columns you have? 4 columns. 4 columns. Here, how many value you are trying to pass? 3 values.
3 values.
Okay. So that is why it is throwing error message. So what we learned that if you have 4 columns in a table, you have to pass 4 values. If you have 10 columns, you have to pass 10 values. Let me show you one more example for this. Suppose here I have ID. Suppose ID is 5. Okay. And I miss the name. Okay. Now I'm trying to insert it. Now let's check the output. Still it is throwing the same error message. Not enough values. What is the reason? An employee table, how many columns you have? 4 columns. How many values you are passing? 3 values. So first of all, here in line number 5 and 6, any question, anyone? First of all, clear this, then I will proceed further. Lalit, is this clear? First of all?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we learned from here that you have to pass the same number of values as you have the column numbers. If you have 10 columns, you have to pass 10 values. Here in line number 5 and 6, I'm not talking anything that I have missed which column. I have missed ID, I have missed name. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking that the number of values must be same as number of columns. Hope it is clear. Okay. Now the second use case is many a times it happens that you're working in a project and maybe for the time being you don't have that ID information. Okay. And your higher authorities are telling that, okay, whatever you have, just enter it. Like here, I have name, department, and salary only. I don't have the ID. So what I have done? In this case, you have to explicitly mention the column and then values. So here now SQL engine will not get confused. Why? Because here you have clearly called out that I want to insert data in these 3 columns only. Then SQL will not get confused and he will insert this data. Is that clear? And that is what I have shown you here. You check this output. You have Tom, sales, and 200, right? So here again, you can ask question that Tanvir, why you are passing 3 value. For this case, why it is not throwing error message? For this case, it has not thrown error message because here clearly I have told to SQL engine that SQL now I am passing values only in name, department, and salary column. Is that clear? Okay. Similarly, suppose yeah.
Yeah. How about the row number 6? Why is it not showing on the table?
Oh, that is what I told. No? Row number 6, it is not showing because here you are trying to insert 3 values. ID 5 and department says salary 200. But in this employee table, how many columns you have? 4 columns, right?
Yeah.
ID is 1 column, name is 2nd column, department is 3rd column, salary is 4th column, right? And how many values you are passing? You are passing only 3 values. So that is why you see when I will run this, I'm running this. It is again throwing the same error message. So that is why it is not present in the table. Is that clear, Sridhar?
Yeah, because you just run the table, right? So it was showing us three rows, right? So
let me run that again. Let me run that again. Now here,
yeah.
tell me what.
Yeah. So now, while running the table, why did not throw the error?
Oh, this line number 12.
Yeah. So now you're running this table, right? Basically, you're running this. Sorry, what do we say that? I don't know. When we run this, right? So there was a row number 6. Why did not throw error now? I'm asking.
Because good question. I think you are asking that, Tanvir. Here you executed this and you have shown that this is throwing error message, right? Then
exactly,
when you executed this line number 12, then why it is not throwing error message? That is the question,
exactly.
right?
Exactly. Yes.
The reason is when I'm running this query in line number 12, okay. So the meaning of this query is I'm telling SQL engine that SQL, you see, select means I am telling that display something. This is the meaning of select. Select means display the data. After select, what I've written, comma. So comma means display all the columns from employee table. So the meaning of this query is I'm telling SQL engine that SQL, what all data you have stored so far in the employee table, show me that. Okay. So that is why when I'm running it, it is simply displaying me the data, what all data you have stored so far in this table. So this query is nowhere related to this query. So that why he is doing his job. So whatever data was present, it is just displaying it. Is that clear now?
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. So any other question, anyone? No? So net what we learned is if you're trying to insert data in a table, the number of column, number of values must be same as number of columns. If you have any special requirement that no, I want to insert only name, department, salary. In that case, explicitly you have to mention the column names here. Then you can insert. Suppose a new requirement. I want to insert a data with ID 6. Okay. And suppose name is Aditya. Okay, and he is from tech department. So if I will insert this value, suppose if I'm trying to insert these values, now if I will run this query, then what will happen? Tell me what will happen.
It will not run.
Why?
Because
there is no salary
data
mentioned.
is missing, like the salary data is
Salary.
Yeah, salary is missing.
In this correct. In this employee table, how many columns we have? How many columns we have? Three columns. 4 columns, no?
Yeah, 4 columns.
In this employee table, we have 4 columns, right? ID is 1 column, name is another column, department is 3rd column, salary is 4th column. But how many values we are passing here?
3.
Only 3 values. So that is why again this will throw error message. Let me run this. It is throwing error message. Is this clear?
Yes.
But now if the question is that no, I'm not bothered why it is throwing error message. I want to insert this data at any cost, right? Then what I have to do? Can you guys help me? How I should write a query?
You need to
Insert into
mention the
employee. Then
in the bracket.
Values, values.
Right.
First
ID,
value.
comma, name
ID,
and department.
Name,
And
Name
department.
department.
and
name
department.
and department.
Before
Right.
that values also enter. No?
No,
I will come
After
to
that,
after this we have to
After
mention
that,
value.
I will write values, right?
Yes.
Got it?
Yes.
So in this case, when there is a compulsion that no, I want to insert only these things, I don't have salary information now. Many times it happens when inserting data in a table, but you don't have all the information, right? So in this case now, see line number 10, which I've highlighted. Here clearly I'm calling out that in employee table, I'll be inserting only ID, name, and department. And here I'm passing 3 values, right? So now when I will run this, check the output. 1 row inserted. Okay. If you want to check whether it is inserted or not, you run this query again, select a star from input. Now see this data is inserted, 6 Adit Tech, salary information is not present here. So hope it is clear.
Yes. Yes. Clear.
Any question, anyone?
Yes, Tanir Omkar here. Like I want
yeah.
to ask, like we have inserted the values or data from 10th line, right? Or also the Tom value from 8th line. Now my question is like if some in some case, like already I have written the query of 14th line, like select star from employee in the line number 7. Okay. And after so if we run that query online, like if before we have run that table are visible.
Let me keep it line number 1. Let me keep it line number 1. Okay. You run it from anywhere. That's not a problem. This will give you the output.
No matter what if we enter data after that, new data.
One minute, I say comma is mistake start on employee. You got the output? So
Yes,
you run
okay.
it from anywhere. That is not a problem. Don't think that okay, I am fetching this value before the creation of table. Already table is created. Already data is inserted, right? You call it from anywhere. Your wish.
Okay.
Suppose you bought a car from Delhi. You can ride it from Kashmir as well. You can go anywhere. You can go to Calcutta, Mumbai, anywhere, right? Similarly, you have created a table. Now you call it from anywhere, from any line number, your wish. Hope it is clear.
Yes, it is clear. Thank you.
Okay. No problem. This is not like Python or Unix. It has very strict syntax. You see, SQL wants only logic from. It will not disturb you for the syntax, for the spaces, for all those things. If you have worked on Unix or Python, so those things you have to take care of, spaces, indentation, sequence, but here that's not a problem. Okay, yeah, someone was asking question. Next question.
Bhagesh this side.
Bhagesh, yeah.
I just want to check with you, like if I miss the sequence while entering the details. So in both scenarios, like giving the column name and without column name. So what will happen?
That will be a new problem. I will explain you after this.
Okay, sure.
Okay. But so far from this topic, any question? These are the basics that should be clear. Okay.
Can we take an example?
So we have to cover the text value in the single inverted comma.
Sorry, Praveen, before you, someone was asking. Who was asking question?
So Tanvir, can you
Yogesh,
scroll
yeah.
down? Yeah.
Which one?
In the result section.
This is the result section. Yes.
Yeah, scroll down. Yes, just little
Okay.
bit.
Okay, sure.
So actually, I did not work on the Oracle ever. So can you? I can see the download CSV file. So are we able to only download the CSV file, or we can make it in
You see,
Excel?
no, this is the open source. Okay. So here you don't have all the options, but your concern is valid when you're working on the licensed version of Oracle. So you will again see the in the lower pane, the result will be there. Right click on that, it will give you all the options, how you can download it, Excel, and many other options are present there. But here this is open source now, so this has given you only this download CSV option.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no problem. Praveen, you're asking something.
Yeah, can you pick an example where you have given all the names, but the values are only few values in the, let's say for example, only ID we have given and department we have given, you have not given the name.
Okay.
Can you
Got
try
it,
that?
got it. Yeah, good use case. Insert into employee, and suppose I have here ID, name, department. You want me to keep all the column names here?
Yes,
Okay.
that's right.
Okay, suppose ID is 7, name is Praveen. Okay. Suppose I'm passing only these two values. This is what you're asking, right?
Exactly. So I want to
Okay.
understand, how does SQL fix the value, or does it give a value?
I will reroute this question to you guys only. Can you think and tell me, very good use case. In this case, if I run this query, what will happen?
Ideally, from my perspective, it should throw an error because SQL doesn't understand that where this particular value should be, or if it is null, then probably it would pick it.
Okay. Any other thought? If I will run this query line number 13, what will
it
happen?
will insert the details, but keep department salary would be null.
Yeah, it will be null.
It will not take the values of department and salary. Ideally, it should run.
No, just tell me one thing. It will throw error message or it will not throw error message. First of all, let's clear this.
I think it will throw error.
Why?
Because we are explicitly telling them that we need 4 values and we are giving only 2. This is what I understood actually.
Right? Okay. Let me run this. Got it?
Yes.
You see, again, same justification I'm telling you, nothing new. Here, how many columns you have announced? You announced to SQL engine that SQL, I'm passing value for 4 columns, right? Correct, no? Now, here, how many values you have passed? 2. So that poor SQL engine will get confused, no? That he has announced, Tanvir has announced that he will be passing value for 4 columns. And actually he is passing only 2 columns. He is confused and he has thrown error message. Hope it is clear.
Okay. And one quick question, just to addition to that. So if we can just give a commas over here, does it still accept it as a null values?
You mean
That's
comma
saying
here?
that, okay, it is comma and then then blank will null values.
Null, I will come to that after some time. Okay.
Okay.
Because I know when I will initiate that discussion about null, that will give birth to many other questions. So just give me some time, Praveen. I will come to that.
Sure, yeah. Thank you.
No problem. Okay. Any other? I know this is a very beginning, so you're having a lot of questions. So not an issue. You ask, it should be clear. Okay. So net the story is number of columns must be same as number of values. If it is not same, SQL will throw error message. Hope it is clear. Okay. Now, suppose I know that Praveen is working, suppose in HR department and his salary is 400 rupees. Now, if I will run this query, then what will happen? And ignore that quotes, that Tanvir, why you have written HR in quotes? Why number you are not keeping in quotes? I know you're having this question. Ignore it for the time being. We'll discuss after some time. So now if I will execute this query, then tell me what will happen. It will throw error message or not? Yes or no?
No.
No, it should not throw error message. Why? Because we have called out 4 columns here. We are passing value for 4 columns, 4 values we have, right? So let me run it now. 1 row inserted. Is this clear? If you want to check it, the data is inserted correctly or not. So again, you have this now. Where is that? Select star from employee. You run it. You see 7 Praveen HR 400. This is inserted in the table. Here you can ask a question that, okay, Tanvir, you have mentioned this column names here, right? So even I can do this without giving this column names. Even I can insert data like this as well. right? I can insert data like this as well. So why I should go for this option number, line number 30? So you are correct. That is why you see in the very beginning, I have shown you this option, that when you have value for all the columns, no need to again write all the column names here. Directly insert value in this manner. Hope it is clear. Any question?
Yes, clear.
Okay.
No.
Now, okay.
Tanvir, one question. What if I added the insert into Praveen data 2 times? Is it going to be added in the table, or like it is going to throw the error?
Good question. But if I will answer this in detail, that needs a full explanation. But quickly, I will answer your question here. You see, I'm running this again. Okay. 7th Praveen HR 400. So your question was that Tanvir, already 7th Praveen HR 400 we have inserted. If I'm inserting this again, what will happen? Nothing will happen. If you're following the syntax, even if it is a duplicate data, no issue. It will insert it. You see, check the output now. Check, do you have 7 Praveen HR 400 2 times?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. That's not a problem. Because you're following the syntax here, it will accept it. If your question is that Tanvir, but in my project, the requirement is data should not be duplicate. For that, then when I will teach you that primary key, integrity constraint, and all those stuff, then I will tell you that how you can control it. That if someone is trying to insert duplicate data, your table should not accept it. That's a different topic of discussion. Hope I answered your question.
Sir, I have one more question. If we rearrange the values, like at the line number 13, first we enter the salary, then
I will
ID,
come to
name.
that's the next discussion. I'll discuss that after this. You're talking about sequence, that if I will change the sequence, what will happen, right?
Yes, sir.
I will come to that. Just give me some time. I'll come to that after this. Okay, so let's take a pause for the questions. Let me complete the remaining concepts, and again we'll discuss if you have any question. Okay. Now, before this, suppose I'm inserting a new record. Insert into employee values. Okay, and suppose ID is 8, name is Kiran, department is tech sales, salary is 500, and by mistake I added this 500 again. By mistake, right? Now if I will run this query, think carefully and then tell me what will happen.
It will throw an error.
It will be error.
Throw error. Yeah, error. Okay, so why it will throw error? What is the reason?
Actually, it is exceeding the column values, I think.
Okay.
Because we have four column and this is 5 values.
Good. Got it? In this employee table, how many columns you have?
4.
4 columns, right? Here, how many values you are passing?
5 values.
5 values. Is this a mismatch or not?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So this will throw error message. Got it? Ignore the error message. That what is this, the naming convention of error message? This is very weird messages you will get sometimes. So don't read that. Just see that, okay, we got some error message. So now it is clear that why you got the error message. So even if the number of values are less than number of columns, or if the number of values are more than the number of columns, in both the cases, your engine will throw error message. Hope it is clear. Any question?
Yeah.
Clear for everyone?
Yeah, clear for me.
Okay. Now I will be coming to that sequence part. And don't message what you're messaging. Yeah, clear. Okay, fine. Thanks, perfect. Then what next I was telling? Oh, okay, fine. Now, so I have to delete this 500. Now, if I will run this, then what will happen?
Now it will work.
Now it should work, right? Okay, let me run this. Now one row is inserted. If you want to check the data, execute this query, select a star from employee. Now see, you have 8 hidden 500. Yes, 8 hidden cells 500 is executed, is entered in the table. Okay. Now, next thing. One thing I want to tell you here, I don't share any PPT. I don't have that because I don't want to make this session theoretical. I told you in the beginning as well, session is totally practical, only hands-on. But I agree many of you have the habit of preparing notes and all those things. So I will suggest you guys to go through the recording, and during that, if you want, you can prepare your notes. That will be helpful. Second, very important announcement, from next class onwards, I will request you guys to log into this meeting using your registered name only. I could see many of you have registered using Dell, Redmi, and many other names are there. So please avoid that. Try to log in using your name only, because from the next class, the admin, she will remove if she will find any other name. And once it is removed, we will be unable to add you the same day. Then you will be added the next day. So ultimately, you will miss the class. So humble request, please log in using the name through which you have registered for the course. Okay. Okay, now next thing. Suppose here I have a new employee. Suppose ID is 10 and the name is, let me take name as Amir. Okay, and the department is tech, and the salary is 600. Okay, and this is a new data which I have to insert. Okay, so now I'm inserting this data. Amir and 10, 600. Now this one, listen very carefully. This is little bit confusing. Now, line number 16, I am trying to insert a record with the ID 10, name Amir, department tech, salary 600. Now, in this line number 16, employee table, I know you know the answer, but still I'm asking, there is some reason. Employee table, how many columns you have?
Four
columns. How many values I am trying to pass here?
Four.
Four values, right? Okay. Number of column is same, number of values same. Okay, we are following the syntax. Let me run it. Oh, but SQL engine has thrown some error message. Ignore this error message, whatever is what is written here. But net story. Can I request you guys to go on mute, please? Thank you. So here we have 4 columns we have inserted. We have passing 4 values, but still it is throwing error message. Why? Let's try to understand it.
Order values are interchanged.
Good. So here what I have done, I have changed the sequence, right? You see, first of all, I have inserted Amir. What is Amir? Name, right? I've inserted name first. Then I inserted ID. Then I inserted salary. Then I inserted department, right? So that is why this has thrown error message, because we have changed the sequence. So sequence is very important when you are inserting data. Okay. But now, one more thing I want to tell you. Actually, this is not throwing error message because of sequence. Let's try to understand. Very important reason for this.
The definition of the column.
Here, ID column. What is the data type you have mentioned while creating this table?
Integer.
Integer. Number, right? Integer or number. It means while creating this employee table, you have informed the SQL engine that this ID column will be storing only integer or number, correct? But here, when you are entering this value, Amit, this is at the first position. So SQL engine will think that, oh, Amir is the value for ID, correct? Now here that SQL engine is confused. Why? Because SQL engine is assuming that you will be inserting something number or integer. But what you are passing here? Alphabets, right? So that's why it is not accepting it. It is throwing error message. Is it clear now?
Yes.
Okay. So here you have to be very careful about the data type, like what you have mentioned and what you are trying to insert. Here you have mentioned ID as integer, so this must be integer. Any question?
Yes, I have one question. If suppose all are character, so I think if it will shuffle, no problem, right? All means employees name character means all is character, so it will be all. If it will shuffle, then it will take, right?
Sorry, I didn't get your question, Satya. Can you repeat? You told something about shuffle.
Yeah. Actually, I'm telling there is no integer, only character.
Okay,
all the
okay.
columns are
Okay. So Satya, I think you are asking that, Tanvir, if I have all the columns are varchar, so will it accept it? That is what your question is?
Yes.
Correct. Good. So Satya is telling that Tanvir, suppose instead of integer, suppose if you have mentioned it as a varchar 50. So in that case, what will happen? In that case, it will accept it because you have mentioned this as a varchar and varchar will accept alphabets. So in that case, it will accept it. Amit. Okay, it will accept in that case. Is that clear?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. You can try that. You take it as a homework, or you can try that use case. If you have that online handy, you try it now. Okay, but I don't recommend to try anything during class. Maybe you will miss the lectures, but it is up to your wish. If you want, you can try that now. Okay, so what we learned, if you have mentioned something as int integer, it will accept only integer or number. It will not accept this varchar. So, as messaged. But other color, please don't message. I don't prefer reading the message. If you have a question, please ask. Don't feel shy. You ask question. Yeah.
If we give a command like row number 13, like if we give a command insert into employee, after that we enter the name first, after that ID, comma, then and then salary, then comma department. So and after that data will enter, so it will accept or not.
You see, this is the example what you're telling.
Yes, sir.
It has accepted it, right? It will accept it.
Before that values, if we make a bracket, that we enter that name only, that we enter in line number 13.
Name only. No,
Yeah.
1 minute. Firoz, 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Let me complete this. Then I will come to your use case. Okay. Just give me 1 minute. Okay. So for this, what happened? We have given ID here. This is integer, but we have passed that as alphabets. That is why it is not accepting it. Hope it is clear. Clear to everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Now next thing. So I thought that, okay, fine, this was a mistake. So I should give here 10 only. Okay. What about name? Name is Kiran here. So I have to give the name as Kiran. And then department is tech. I have to keep here tech only. And salary was suppose 400 or something. I have to keep it. Now if I will run this, what will happen? Any idea?
It will run.
It will run because everything is correct. Here ID is integer. I have passed integer here. Name is varchar. I have passed varchar here. Alphabets. Okay. So now when I will run this, record is inserted. If you want to check, you can check it from here. 10 Kiran, take 400. Here you might be thinking that Tanvir, you inserted this at the last and why it is displayed at the top. Ignore all these things for the time being. When I will teach you order by concept, then I will explain you. So ignore the order here, that why it is displayed first, it is displayed second, it is displayed last. Ignore that part. Okay. Now, again, coming back to this discussion. So far, what we learned is, if your column is int, you have to pass only numbers or integers. If you will pass alphabets, it will not accept it. Hope it is clear. Okay. Now, Firoz, I will come to your question. Just give me one.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, Daniel, what you someone is asking. Who is that?
Yeah.
Bhargavi, yeah.
For varchar, if we give in integer value
Integer,
instead,
then what will happen? Right?
Inverted
That is the
comma.
question. That is what I'm explaining now. Suppose I have an ID 11. Okay. And suppose the name is Henry. Okay. And department is 300. Okay, now listen very carefully. Actually, what happened now? I was supposed to insert ID 11, name Henry, department HR, salary 300. Actually, I was supposed to insert this data. Okay. But here I have inserted this data. By mistake, what happened? Instead of department giving as HR, I have mentioned the salary 300. No, not clear. Let me repeat. I want to insert this record. ID 11, name Henry, department HR, salary 300. Okay. But by mistake, what I have done here, or you guys tell me what mistake I have done here.
Instead of department, we enter 300.
Right. I should write here department as HR, no?
Yes,
correct?
yes.
But what happened? By mistake, I inserted 300 here. Okay. Now, if I will run this, then what will happen?
Throw the error.
Should insert.
No error.
Error, no
It
error.
will give the error
Should
because the
insert.
data
No
type.
error.
Okay. Okay, good. Mixed response. Good. Let's evaluate this line number 17 query one by one. First of all, employee table. How many columns? 4 columns. Okay. How many values I'm passing here?
4.
4 values. So first checklist is passed. First rule we are following, that is fine. Okay. Next rule. ID. What is the data type? Integer. Number or integer. What I have passed here? Number or integer.
Yeah.
So this is accepted?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Okay. Next. Name. What is the data
Value
type?
character.
Variable
Varchar.
character, varchar. What I have passed here?
Accepted.
Alphabets, right? So is it accepted?
Yes.
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 Yes. Okay. Good. Next. Department. What is the data type?
Where character.
Varchar. What I have passed here?
Integer.
Integer. Is this accepted?
No.
Yeah.
It is
It will
accepted
accept.
No.
because it's in the comma in double comma.
Inverted comma. Yeah.
Inverted
No,
commas.
it's not
I know this conflict is because we have few freshers, we have few matured players. That's why this conflict is. But I will answer that. Okay. But overall, so far what we have discussed, as per that understanding, it is like department is varchar, and we have learned that varchar will accept only alphabets, right? So from that understanding, it should not accept this 300, right? Correct? And that is the
Yes.
correct understanding. I agree. Okay, let's discuss that. Next one, salary. It is mentioned as integer. What I mentioned, what I have passed here, 300. So is this fine?
Yes.
Okay, it is fine. The only problem is with department. Here I mentioned as varchar 50, but here I'm passing it as a number. So ideally it should not accept it, right? Okay. Now let me run this now. Oh, it has accepted it, right? Okay. Now let's discuss that why it has accepted. Because for us, we were thinking that it should not accept it, right? Now listen to this very carefully. Any column which you have marked as varchar, you say department, I marked it as varchar, right? And here I have passed 300. Okay. We were assuming that they should throw error message, but it has not given any error message, correct? Okay. To explain this, I will take one more example, then I will explain that. Suppose I have one more employee ID 12, and suppose the name is Swati, and again same mistake I have done. Okay, exactly same mistake I have done. His salary was 200, so in department I put 200 as well. But here I am not keeping this within quotes. Okay, so now let me run this. Okay, still it is accepting it, right? Now let's check the output. Where is that? 12 Swati, 200, 200. Okay, now line number 17 and 18. First of all, listen very carefully. Very important concept I'm telling to explain you from this two, line number 17 and 18. First of all, we will discuss line number 17. Integer or let me concentrate on integer. Integer data type will accept only integers or numbers. Varchar 50 or anything, okay, can accept integers, numbers, alphabets, special characters. This is the rule actually. If you have mentioned a column as integer, it will accept only integer or number. I have shown you that example, right? I have, in place of integer, I have given name, it was not accepting it, right? You might have seen that. Let me show you that again. Suppose I have this example, new set of example, name is suppose Tanveer, ID is 13, and department is tech, salary is 400. So this is not accepting, this will throw error message because this Tanveer is taking as an ID which is integer, right? So integer, it will accept only integers or numbers. But if you have varchar, it can accept integers, numbers, alphabets, special characters, anything. So that is the reason here in Henry I mentioned 300, and this is the department which is varchar. See here, this is department which is varchar, right? So even I have mentioned this is as a number, even then it has accepted it, right? Next case, for Swati, I have mentioned the department as 200, which is number. Even then it has accepted it. Is that clear now? But for this case, line number 19, this is the ID column. This is integer. It will not accept alphabet. That is why it is throwing error message. So that is why this is the conclusion. If you have ID, it can accept anything. Sorry, ID. If you have int integer, it will accept only integers or numbers. If you have varchar, it can accept integers, numbers, alphabets, special characters, anything. Any question now? I know you'll be having questions. Yeah.
Tanvi,
Yeah, Yogesh.
so why we use integer? We can use varchar any data type of.
Good question. The question is that Tanvir, here in line number 21, you are telling that int will accept only integers or numbers. And varchar is something which can accept integers, numbers, alphabets, special characters. Then I will recommend that go with varchar always. But then why we are using this integer? Because varchar is something global. It will accept everything. Then why we are going with integer? I think most of you will be having this question, right? See, the reason is when I will teach you in detail about the data type, then I will explain you in details that why we need for why first of all data type is required, why when creating table I have to tell that what is the data type of each and every column, what is the purpose of that, how it is helpful, how it is good from performance size and memory optimization size and all this stuff. Because now I'm not talking about the data type. That is a different class we'll discuss in detail. But to quickly answer your question, the reason is when you're doing calculations, okay, if you're working in finance project now or any other project nowadays, most of the projects you have to do calculations, you have to find assets, revenues, taxes, costs, mean, average, many other things. In the calculations, this will create problem. So that is why especially the columns which are measures or which have transaction numbers, it is suggested to keep those things in integer because this is good from calculation perspective. That is another thing that varchar will accept all these things. Okay, but if you are planning to keep your columns which have the transaction numbers in varchar, that will create problem in the calculations that I will explain down the line. Hope I answered your question.
Yes.
When I will come to that part, data type, then I will explain this again in detail. Okay. Any other question, anyone?
One question, like yeah, Omkar here. Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah. So as varchar data type can accept integer, alphabet, and special character, and we have seen it from the line 18, like that it has accepted the data.
Yes.
But yeah, so when we are writing the alphabets, as we are able to see, we are writing it in double inverted comma, right? So so for the integer, means like when we are writing varchar and we want to enter the integer value, right? So we don't want to mention that inverted commas. So whenever we write alphabet, then only we have to write in inverted commas, right? When it is varchar data type.
Okay. The concept is, again, this needs a detailed explanation, but just a high level, I will answer it right now. Concept wise, or make it a thumb rule for the time being, that whenever you are inserting anything which is alphabets, okay, or alphanumeric, you have to keep it within quotes. Okay. Now, coming to numbers or integers, it is not mandatory to keep it within quotes, because you see here 300, I kept it within quotes, it was executed. Here it is not within quotes, it is also executed. So numbers or integers, it is not mandatory to keep it within quotes, it will be accepted. But alphabets, alphanumeric, it is mandatory to keep it within quotes, otherwise it will throw error message. Let me show you one example for that. Suppose here I want to insert a record with ID 14 and the name is suppose Himanshu, and department is sales, and this is 500 is sales. Suppose this name I removed it from quotes. Okay, now I'm trying to execute. You got that error message, column not allowed here or something. Error message is coming. Why? Because you kept it without quotes. So that is why alphabets, alphanumeric has to be within quotes. Now you see I'm keeping it within quotes. Okay, same thing, just I have added a quotes here. Now see the output. It is inserted now.
Yes.
Is that clear? Then you will be having question that Tanvir, okay, if the numbers, if I'm keeping in quotes like here 300, and if I'm not keeping in quotes, then what is the difference? Okay, so that difference again we will discuss. Then when I will teach you about that string concept, then I will come to that part. But for the time being, just understand alphabets, alphanumerics, it is mandatory to keep it within quotes. Okay, and the numbers, it is your wish. You can keep it within quotes and you cannot keep it. That is your wish.
Yeah, it is clear. Thank you. Just add on to that, like, I mean, I'm fresher only, but I know that string, what is string, and we have to mention it in code. Just I want to note, means I just want to ask, like in the 18th line, though it has accepted the data like 200 data because the varchar data type was varchar, right? So, but no matter which SQL, like it is same to all SQL vendors, or this rule is what we can say, just common to Oracle or any, means like string rules are same to every SQL vendors, or it is only to specific vendors?
No, with vendors it will change little bit. That I will explain you. Just little bit variation will be there. And then at the end, then I will tell you what is the best practice, which one you should use so that it should be consistent across all the vendors. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Fine. Yeah, no problem. Any other question, anyone?
Yeah, I have a question. So
yeah,
here, so what's the, like, why you have written integers and numbers? So is it like both are same, or by numbers you mean by like the decimal number 2.5, 2.3?
No. That floating point I'm not discussing now. Why I have mentioned is like many times the participant will get confused that when you have entered 1, 2, 3, what if I have this number, very big number? So that is what I'm referring here. You are either consider integer or number to avoid that confusion. Okay, but you are correct. I should write here directly numbers that mean everything. But to avoid that confusion, no, I given this backslash integers or numbers.
Okay. So here we can't insert that 2.5 or the decimal number because it is integer, right?
You can insert that floating point also. You can insert. I don't want to trigger that float concept now. Okay, because again some discussion will happen. But to quickly answer your question and others, you can ignore it. You can insert 2.5, but that will be truncated and only 2 will be inserted. You can check that. Okay. For that, we have separate data type float you have to use. Okay, then it will insert point decimal as well. Okay. Okay, any other question, anyone? Okay. So far, hope you understood how to create a table, the very simple syntax. You understood how to insert data. You understood where you have to be careful, where it will throw message. At least the basic part you understood, right? I agree. Many other things are there which we will discuss down the line. Okay. Shall I proceed further now?
Yes.
Okay, good. So now if I will show you this table, but whatever I have taught you so far, now I will tell you the reality. Actually, in this no insert, create, you will not get any interview question, to be frank. Okay, nobody asked the question about inserting data, how to create table, because these are the tasks of data engineer and this is the simple syntax. Okay, this is not something complicated. And in real life, you will not be using this insert to insert the data. Why I'm teaching this? Because many times when you're working as a data analyst or you're working as a tester or the business analyst, manually, many times you want to check a particular scenario. Then you should know this, how to insert data. That is the purpose I'm telling you this. Okay. Now I will start the sequel. So this is just I was showing a trailer, how to create a background. Now let's start with the actual sequel. I know we have only 20 minutes left. We will cover whatever we can, then we will continue the next class. Before this, I should tell you what is null. Okay. There is a concept of null. Those who already know SQL, you know about null. But those who are freshers, this will be a totally new term for you. But let me explain you, and this is very important. And the complexity of SQL, why it is little bit complex. So little bit credit goes to null as well. Okay, null is very dangerous. In your interview, at least 95% guarantee I can give you. You will get one question from null for sure. Or those who have attended interview earlier, maybe you will realize now that in you might have faced at least one question from null perspective, either null with join, null with set operator, union operator, or count. But at least one question will be there from null perspective. So down the line, whatever I'll be teaching you, whatever keyword functions, whatever it may be. So at the same time, I will show you that how it behaves with null. That is very important. Okay. If I will teach you count, then I will teach you that how null behave with count. If I'm teaching you joins, I'll explain you how joins behave with null. If I'm teaching order by, I will show you how order by behaves with null. It means what all we have in the agenda, everything you have to understand their behavior with null, everything, because for sure you will get one question from null in the interviews if you're training. Okay, so before that we have to understand that actually what is this null. Okay, now listen to this very carefully. Suppose there is a test in a class, ID, name, marks. Okay, in class there is a test, ID 1, name is A, he has scored 50 marks. Okay, so this is clear. There is a student whose name is A, he has scored 50 marks. Fine. ID 2, name B, he has scored 0 marks. So this is also clear cut. There is a student whose name is B, but he has scored only 50, he has scored only 0 marks. Okay, there is no confusion. Then there is a student 3, his name is C, and this is blank. Now try to understand what is blank. Okay. I have shown this to the principal of the school. It happens that we have to publish the result to the principal, right? I've shown this to the principal. Principal is asking that, okay, Tanvir, this is clear that A has scored 50 marks, B has scored 0. Okay, maybe his all the answers were incorrect. And C, it is blank. So why you have kept blank there? Okay, principal is asking me, suppose I'm the class teacher. I told that, sir, actually for C, still the paper is getting evaluated. Okay. So once it is evaluation is over, we will update the marks here. Okay. So principal told that, okay, fine, no issues. So once the paper is evaluated, so please update the marks here. So far, any question? Clear? Okay. Now next, ID 4, name D, and it is mentioned as null. This is what I want to explain. For this ID 4, name D, I have marked here null. Again, principal is confused. That Tanvir, what is this null? Why you have kept null here? Here it was blank. You told that still that paper is getting evaluated. That's why you kept it blank, right? But for this, why you kept it null? So I told that, sir, actually for this student D, listen very carefully. Actually for this student D, I am not sure whether he has appeared in the test, maybe like he was absent, or maybe he has appeared but he was caught cheating and he was debarred, or maybe still his paper is getting evaluated, or maybe he has maybe some other reason is there. So I'm not sure exactly what happened with D. So even I cannot tell you that we are waiting for that paper is getting evaluated. So that's why I have put null here. Is that clear that why I put null here? So it means I don't have a clear cut answer. It means I don't have a concrete answer that whether what happened with D. I'm just playing with the assumptions that maybe he has not appeared for the test. Maybe he has appeared, but he was debarred from the exam. Maybe he has appeared for the test and still the paper is getting evaluated. Okay. So I'm just talking about assumptions. Is this clear so far? So far, any question? No. So when you have something, when you are not sure that exactly what happened, in those cases in database, we will mark it as null. Okay. Now you guys tell me, if I will tell you that blank is same as null, will you agree? No, you will not agree, because blank is clear cut. You are waiting for the answer. It is getting evaluated. But for null, you can tell to principal that, sir, we are waiting for the answer. Sit. Because you are not sure whether he has attended the test or not. So that is why blank is not same as null. Hope it is clear. Okay. Can I tell that 0 and null, they both are same? Can I put here 0 instead of null? Can I put it 0?
No.
No, you cannot put it 0. Because maybe he would have attended the test. Maybe D would have attended the test and his paper is getting evaluated. And maybe after evaluation, he will be the topper. That is also possible. So you cannot put it at 0. Okay. So when you're working in a database, when you're not sure exactly what happened, the transaction happened or not, transaction failed, transaction was committed, transaction was rolled back, you cannot put it there. 0, right? So that's why we put null, and this is your null. Any question? Is this clear what is null? Yeah, again.
Yes, Tanvir.
Yes. Null is clear. Null is clear, but the blank is not clear to me.
Blank is not clear. Okay. Blank means you are waiting for the data. In a clear cut, in a very simple sentence, it means you are waiting for the data. Okay, like some transaction happened. Okay, but that is not committed. You are waiting for that. So that in those cases, we put it as a blank. We are waiting. We have the hope. Okay, but null, that the scene is not clear. What has happened actually? So in those cases, we put null. But blank means we are waiting for the data. We know the transaction has happened. We know that C has appeared in the test. His paper is getting evaluated after 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 1 hour. I will get the marks what C has scored. So you have that answer here, right? But you are waiting. In that case, you put it as a blank. But null means you are not sure exactly what happened. Okay. In that case, we put it as a null.
Okay.
Is that clear, Genya?
It's clear now.
Okay. This is very important. If anyone wants me to repeat, please tell me. I will repeat this.
So somewhere, yes, Tanvi. So do you have any other example which you can,
Or can you tell me where you are getting confused here?
I don't know,
from
but
blank perspective, from null perspective.
blank versus null. Yeah, blank versus null.
Okay, okay. I will repeat it. You see, blank means we have the hope. We know that transaction happened. Okay, like suppose when you are attending this course, many of you are making the payment through Phone Pay or Paytm or Google Pay. Those who are in India, you follow this this way. You are paying that, right? Once you have done the payment, many times what happens, the transaction will be declined or still it is processing, and you will share the screenshot. So for that, it is clear to me that, okay, you have done the payment, but it is in way, maybe after some time it will be processed or it will decline. But that information I have that, okay, Yogesh has initiated the payment. Okay. But what about a guy who has just mentioned me that reserve a seat for me, but he has not shared any screenshot, nothing. So there I am totally, I don't have any idea that exactly what happened. Has he initiated the payment, or whether the payment he initiated and I have not received so far in my account, or whether it is declined, or whether it is successful, right? I don't have any exact answer. In that case, it is null. So when you're not sure exactly what happened with your transaction, whether it was failed, whether it was passed, or whether it is initiated, you are not sure, then you put it as a null. When you are sure that yes, the second party is telling you that transaction I have initiated, in some time within a minute or 2 minutes, you will get that amount credited. So in that case, at least you have one information that transaction is initiated and you are waiting, right? That in some time you will get that amount credited. So that is blank. Here I can, but here I cannot mark it, right? Here I cannot market the value because I'm waiting for that data, right? Then I will mark it. So that is blank, and this is the difference between blank and null actually.
Yep. Got it.
Is it clear?
Yes.
Any other question?
Tanveer, I have a question. Okay, well, let's say, for example, when you are trying to count people who are having a marks are not null or maybe blank. So in that case, let's say, for example, select count from marks which is not blank. In that case, does the query consider null values as well?
I see.
Either ways.
I have not taught count so far, so I don't want to jump into that.
No problem. Yeah.
Okay, but quickly I will answer your question, and others you ignore it. If you are using count of a star, it will consider null. If you are using count of column, it will not consider null. But I will explain this in detail when I will jump to that count part. Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I have bad throat today. So is this clear, the difference between zero, blank, and null? Any question? Any?
I have another question.
Yeah, I get it.
Let's take this exam marks, for example. What if the candidate is absent? Will it be regarded as blank or null or zero?
Good. Suppose I have a student E, okay, and Janet is telling that suppose he is absent. Okay, so first of all, answer me. Do you have concrete information about E? Yes or no? Do you have that concrete information? No, you have that. You know E is absent. That is clear-cut information you have, right? You have full information that E is absent. So in that case, I will mark it as absent, AB. Right? You cannot mark it as null because you know that he has not appeared for the exam. Right? So in that case, you have to mark it as absent. Is that clear?
Yes.
Got it. But this is a good use case. For others, is it clear? Yes or no?
Yes. So we can mark it zero also, no?
You can mark it zero, but actually what happened now? Ideally, you should not mark it zero. Why? If you're marking it zero, it is giving the information that he has appeared in the test and he has scored 0 marks, right? So that's why better you mark it as absent, because maybe if he would have appeared for the test, maybe he might be the topper, right? You never know. So that's why you should not give 0 here. You mark it as an absent. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. But you will not mark it null here, because here you don't have assumption. You know clear cut that he is absent. So how you can mark it as null? You should not mark it as null. Null means you are not sure exactly what happened. So then we mark it as a null. Any
No
other
details
question?
about the candidate.
Right. When I don't have any detail, whether he appeared for the test or whether he has not appeared for the test, or whether he appeared and he was doing cheating and he was debarred, or whether his paper is getting evaluated, I don't have any clue what happened. Then I will mark it as a null. Very simple.
Yeah.
Blank means I have the information, the paper is getting evaluated. I will mark it as a blank. Okay.
And for the absent, he gave the exam, but no, he did not give the exam.
Yeah. For
But
absent,
he
he has
informed,
not.
yeah.
Right. He has filled the form, but he has not appeared for the exam. So again, you should not mark it as 0. Okay. Because maybe if he would have appeared for the exam, maybe he might be the topper. You never know. So you should not give him 0 marks. Okay.
Makes sense. Thank you.
No problem. Any other question? Anyone? Okay, 1 minute. So it's 10 now, and I strictly follow this 8 to 10 timelines because I know you have other commitments. We should respect the timelines of everyone. So I will stop at 10 on every day, that is Saturday and Sunday. And but still, if anyone has question, you can stay on call. Now, after this, you can ask any question from SQL. I will answer all your questions. And but during the course 8 to 10, I strictly follow the curriculum. Okay, I'm very sorry for that. Many times you're asking question, but I have to follow my curriculum. But now you can ask any question, your wish. Okay. Next thing, today's video will also be public, but from next class Saturday, your recordings will be in private mode. I request, please share your Gmail ID which is registered on YouTube only. Okay, because that creates a lot of problem for us. If it is not visible, again we have to go to that YouTube, we have to check what has happened, we have to scan each and every Gmail ID. Okay, that is something overburden for us. So please do that. And if you have any question, please connect with Firdaus or me. First priority should be on Firdaus because she takes care of all the assignments and everything. Don't discuss anything apart from SQL in the group. Don't spam it because many times people they get disturbed. Okay, if you want to discuss questions, you can discuss it there. If you're getting error message, you can discuss it there. Please don't share your confidential data with anyone. Don't share your office talks here. You never know, your manager, your HR might be attending this meeting. This has happened in the past. I have given that example. Okay. Okay, that's all from mine. I'm done for the class today. We will share the recording in another 2 hours. Now, if you have any question, the forum is open. You can ask any question.
So you want us to share the email ID?
No. If Firdaus will ask you to share, then you can share that. Okay.
Okay.
Next question.
Sir, I have asked one question that if we shuffle the values, so that
shuffle the values, that is what I mentioned you here. If you're changing the sequence here, the data type will be disturbed and that will throw error message. But if you are taking care of data type and if you're shuffling, sorry, what
shuffling, like
if
sir, can you enter one more line? What I
1 minute.
Okay.
Yeah, tell me. Insert into
in the bracket employee and bracket name, then after that department ID, salary, and bracket close values.
That's not a problem. It will accept it.
And enter the name also, like Firoz, department HR.
Firoz, is this spelling correct? This should be J or Z?
J. It is
okay. Department
is HR. And salary is 100.
ID, no? ID is suppose 34. Okay.
Yeah. And
salary is 100. This is what we're asking, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I want this to discuss with you guys. This is a good use case. What you guys think? What will happen if I run this?
It will insert the row.
It will accept, yeah.
It will insert the row. It will accept.
Yes.
You can ask question that, but here the sequence is different than it. I agree here the sequence is different, but clearly you are calling it out with SQL that I found this sequence now, and you are inserting data in this sequence. Then it will accept it for sure.
Yes.
Let me run this. Data is inserted, right?
Right.
You want to check it, you can check it from here. Good use case, Firoz.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think I missed it at that moment. See 34, Firoz, HR 100.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. Any other question?
Yeah, I have a
When
question.
we
So here we have written like
Sorry,
multiple.
Abhishek. Sorry. Before you, Praveen was asking something. Praveen, yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, so when you are creating tables, right? So is it required to mention whether the value should be null or blank, anything like that? Are we going to cover it?
Yeah. Suppose if no, and now you can ask any question. We are done with the class. Okay, so open now.
Okay.
You can ask any question. So if your question is that Tanvir, in my project, the requirement is that ID should be mandatory. Okay, it will not accept null or blank. So that you can control. In that case, what you have to, after this, you have to mention not null. So okay, so it means you are telling to SQL engine that it is a mandatory column. If someone is trying to pass null value, please don't accept it. Then it will not accept it. Okay, I will cover all
The
this.
blank it is not required, right?
Blank, for blank, no, if you mark it not null, no, even if you mark blank, it will not accept it. Okay, or you make it as a primary key.
Okay.
It will give you the unique values.
Okay.
We'll discuss about those constants.
Okay.
You see, I have all these things here. Let me show you quickly, but because we're not that much matured now, see how to make a mandatory column, how to make a primary key, how to make composite primary key. You see how to make unique constraint. Then this is the check constraint. And then you have this integrity foreign key constraint. Everything is there, but I'm afraid if I will initiate
great.
those discussion now, those who are freshers, non-technical guys, maybe they will feel frustrated. Sometime it has happened. Okay, and so that's why I have to go in a proper format. Yeah.
No
Okay.
problem.
Any other question?
Yeah.
Okay.
So so
Yeah,
I wanted
Abhishek,
to ask, like, here we have written different insert statements. So suppose I want to insert 10 well 10 rows at once. So can I do it like for all 10 rows insert at once?
To write all the 10 insert script, like suppose you have this all script, run all this script, select all this script, keep semicolon at the end of all the script, and click run in a one go. It will insert all the value in one go. No need to execute one by one.
Okay, and it happens in all the database, right? It is not dependent on a
I
particular
have
database.
checked Oracle, SQL Server, Netezza, Teradata, Postgres. I'm a little bit dicey. Okay, I need to check that. Or else, if you're working on Postgres, you can check it. It's a simple thing, you can try it out. Okay, but most of the databases it worked. Okay.
Okay, and here suppose like I have like currently we are inserting values in all the columns, right? So suppose I want to insert in 2 columns only, then in that case I will just mention that column name and then insert the values. In that case also, well, it will work.
You see, this is the example, line number 11, which I have highlighted. Here I am not inserting ID. I am mentioning only name and department salary. So it is accepting value of name, department, salary only. So you can customize it. Suppose if your question is, Tanvir, I want to insert salary only. So you mention only salary here. And you put salary here, it will accept only salary. All the values will be null. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other question? Abhishek, any other question do you have? Your voice is not audible, Abhishek. Is it for me only? For others, can you hear what Abhishek is saying? 1 minute. I think it's not visible to me only. It's connected. Am I audible? Yeah. I am audible now. Hello, I'm audible now.